Welcome to Badger Boost. I'm Badger. This is my caboose. Today's little project is pretty straightforward. It's going to be kind of short and sweet. What I got, if you can see, right above the steps that walks up into the caboose, you'll see that little platform that goes over the walkway. And if you can see, there's a little square, well, approximately this size, cut out on the other side. And what I have is it's a rusted out piece. And not only is it rusted out, it's been patched and then rusted out again. So I decided rather than patching over something that's rusted out multiple times, I'm just going to go ahead and make me a new piece. And the reason I'm doing this is because whenever I started on getting ready to remove paint on the roof right there, I just did a quick overlook and realized I need to fix this hole. So I'm going to fix this hole before I get really down to business. And sorry if it's boring, but here's a little lesson in curved metal. What I did, I took my measurements of how big a piece that I had, and I cut me out a flat piece. You see this flat piece of sheet metal right here, and I cut out about an inch or an inch and a half bigger around it. I took it down to my local machine shop because, well, I don't have the tools to do it properly, and I could have pounded it into a curve, like welded the bottom and then beat it, but I didn't want it to look like dog crap. So basically what I did, I took it down to the machine shop, and he's got this press down there that bends metal. It'll do a 90-degree angle, it'll do a curve, well, it'll do 90 degrees or shorter depending on how much pressure he puts down. And he did. The guy that I had do it, which he's very skilled, he did a fairly good job at matching the curve. There's only one little spot up here that's kind of out of whack. That's fine and dandy because I can beat one little corner and make it look not so bad. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut off. I've put it up there in the hole where it is, and I drew a line where I need to cut off. So it'll match in the hole. Hopefully I'll cut it just a little bit bigger and it'll still fill in, and I'll beat it in a little bit. If it's way too big, I'll cut it down again. So just going to chop off this little corner because I've already cut the corner this side down, and this side are cut down. They're good, and all I've got is this little bit. When doing curves, I almost messed up, and I want to let you know so maybe you don't make the same mistake. I almost marked it down the wrong end because it's curved and it can fit in both ways. And I about chopped off too much on one end, so as I looked at it, and it looked kind of weird after I made it once. So I marked down. South end goes that way, top is up here, this is the bottom. That way I know it fits in here, and I'm cutting it to be in this position. Because if you don't, you get jack up, and man, I don't want to have to drive another hour to my machine shop. I got closer machine shops, but not guys that I trust. So that's what it is. So what I'm going to do, chop off this little corner and fit it up in there, and hopefully get this patched in today because it's been a while since I've been able to put a video. It seems like once people realize that, hey, you got a project and that's all you're doing, and you're barely working right now because it's still freaking COVID season, whatever. Anyway, so I'm going to chop this down. Anyway, I've been everybody's everything, basically. Doing hay, buying refrigerators. My lawnmower's broke down at least 8 times in the last 2 weeks, trying to get it back together, waiting for parts for it. My deck is sitting right here. That's why the mower ain't got no deck on it. So, anyway, I'm going to chop this down in the right size. I'm going to fit it in that hole, and hopefully I'm going to get it welded up. I'll clean it up a little bit and get it welded up, and that way this weekend maybe I'll have some help and I'll be able to start using my new toy. And I'll just let you know, I bought a little media blaster. It is Harbor Freight, but you know, I ain't going to use it except for the roof. So hopefully it'll last that long. because I know Harbor Freight ain't the greatest in quality, but hopefully it'll do the job. Anyway, let's get this chopped, get it filled. Let's get to work. Alrighty, here we are on top of the caboose. I've got the patch welded on the top and the sides. I'm okay with the job that I did. There's no holes, no gaps. Welder worked good. Only problem I have, if you can see, and I know it's bare because of the sun, but this is what I'm working in. If you can tell, right about here, I had a big pool, because basically this piece of metal that I'm welding onto right here, that goes along here, is all rusted out around my rivets. So I'm basically having to build a weld in between just to overlap to cover it, and then my my elastometric roof coating should do a fairly good job coating it up the rest of the way. Anyway, so that's what I'm working with. I'll hopefully be done here in a minute and do the recap. Alrighty. Well, after going to town with the grinder and getting this all done, it's finally cleaned up fairly well. You can see I smoothed her up a little bit in a couple spots and had some help grinding. He really did a good job too, so I had to fill in some spots. My elastometric coating should cover that up. I'm okay with that for now. If I ever need be, it's on the edge, I can get it done really easy. I just thought I'd show you my finished product of this little piece. Let's do the recap and get this posted for you guys. Alrighty, so we got my little piece done. I know it's been a long time. Heck, I changed shirts. It's been 3 or 4 days since I even finished grinding, because you know, it gets hot out here. People call, stuff needs done. You know, I got my mower fixed finally. Anyway, so this is what I got done the last 3 weeks. One little piece. It might always be like this. I've tried to get one out every week, but it just don't happen. Anyway, well, my new toy hasn't even been tested yet. Hopefully I'll test it this week, get it done. This weekend, hopefully something else will get done. We'll see what happens. Just remember, if one person can do it, another person can, including you. That's it for me. Badger out.